Hello, guys. Uh, Welcome to Correcting Health. Uh, I go by Coach Hemi, and today I want to cover adaptogens. We're going to cover the before and then the after of consuming adaptogens. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a background why someone might need to intake or why we should intake adaptogens and their effects. So here we go. The reason why many people consume adaptogens is to reduce stress. Who doesn't have stress in today's world? I believe many people do. And there's a lot of symptoms that happen with the stress that we go through. We have three types of stressors: physical, chemical, and emotional. And everybody experiences that. You have bad news that you receive about a family member either passing away or maybe a divorce. That's emotional. Chemical, the toxins, the things that are in our food, such as GMOs and pesticides, and just maybe our work environment or just our area, pollution around us. This all affects us in a deep and profound way that we may not realize. And then we have the physical. It's not just exercising, which is a good stressor. You're working out, you're trying to build muscle, you're trying to improve cardiovascular endurance, but you also have bad physical traumas, injuries, uh, back problems, a misaligned spine, uh, whiplash from accidents. So these are bad physical stressors. So, yes, before I go ahead and get into the adaptogens, I just want to say a couple points. I think that if we incorporate these adaptogens with meals and we balance out our meals, with the proper proteins, fats, and carbs, depending on our insulin sensitivity, um, and our metabolic flexibility in the way our body intakes and stores fat or uses that for fuel, I think this will help us in our journey into for us to have that optimal health. So, balanced meals, eating more greens, more vegetables, uh, having some warm water with lemon, maybe some little bit of apple cider vinegar diluted in there, and a little bit of alloy mixed in it, so that we have our digestive, uh, from the mouth to the esophagus, all the way down to the stomach, going through and in between the pancreas, the liver, the gallbladder, the secretion of that bile going down to the small intestine, things being absorbed, and then it going to our large intestine and coming out our colon nice and clean and um, in a good, timely fashion, not being backed up, so to speak. Because if we're backed up, we need to make sure that that motility is fixed, because that is one of the ways that we excrete toxins besides breath, which is the CO2 when after we breathe in. The inhale is the exhale that helps us to detox. So that's a form of detox. Sweating, that's why some people exercise or they do hot saunas, just to detoxify. Urine as well excretes toxins, and then of course the motility, feces, poop, in other words. So yes, so another crucial factor, in this before uh, taking the adaptogens is you want to try your best to avoid or remove toxic people, hindering foods, because they can, sensitivity to certain foods. You want to at least give like a 3 weeks period between that, and then try reintroducing these foods back in to see how they come in. And the reason why I say this is because if our bodies are not If they're having a problem with a certain type of food, it adds stress to the body, and that creates, problems, more problems, of course. And I already discussed the physical, emotional, and chemical stressors, and also caffeine and sugar. They seem to fix our issues, but all they do is exhaust our adrenals, which are above our kidneys, and actually have brain tissue. And these adrenals are pretty much our in-house pharmacy. They secrete, adrenaline, cortisol, which is our pretty much our our anti-inflammation center. Or if too much, it could cause too much damage too. So we have to be careful, and balance that out. And that's why these adaptogens are coming into play. Um, there's reasons for this. Excess cortisol, besides stress, uh, and low melatonin. Sometimes tumors can be involved in that. Um, but yeah, even our thyroid is connected. Our body works as a Swiss watch, so we have to start seeing our body in a holistic view and not as individual car parts that can just be replaced or removed, without any consequences, so to speak, or without disrupting that, without, there's a reason why we have body, each tissue, each organ, it has its use, and it's part of this Swiss watch. If you ever see the inside of a Swiss watch, or just seeing cogs and gears, move together, and it helps the whole system to operate optimally. So yeah, so when we do these caffeine and sugar fixes, they're not really fixes. They just exhaust that second brain, the adrenals, the tissue that's there that helps our bodies and secretion of hormones, which then affects our thyroid, which then can affect us metabolically and can start affecting us the way we store fat, the way we use glucose, the way the body, absorbs or doesn't absorb. Some people call that insulin resistance. Some people don't believe in insulin resistance, but anyways, I'm trying to get to the point where that it makes us, this creates a sickness. Our terrain becomes sick, and then we get the headaches, we get the migraines. Some women experience PMS, and some people even pre-diabetic. And a lot of people like to say, "Hey, well, I'm not diabetic, I'm pre-diabetic, or I'm around there, and so I'm good." But that's not good to be around. We here and correcting health, we want people to have optimal health. We want people to feel 1000% every day. So this is why we do what we do. This is why I do what I do. I've had my share of my experiences in my past, and I'll leave that for another time. But yeah, so these issues, they continue to, stressors in life, whether they're physical, chemical, emotional, they continue to impact us and set us down this snowball effect of symptoms and sickness and eventually diseases that end up, taking us out, which then has us relying on pharmaceutical medications, and these things just spiral downward from there on. Um, we have to take health back. We have to learn for ourselves. You know, I believe that if we have that knowledge and then we apply wisdom to that knowledge, we can all be healthy. And that's why, I believe in correcting these things the right way, the root causes, and not just trying to get rid of symptoms. So, you know, pre-diabetic, what I was saying last, and then what happens, we go to a doctor because now the symptoms or the things that we're feeling are just okay, they're here. A lot of people don't feel symptoms because it's a buildup. It's a buildup of whatever it is, toxins, heavy metals, metabolic inflexibility, sedentary lifestyle, um, muscle atrophy. Like there's a lot of things. Everything is in layers. It's not just like a one fixed thing. Like food, for instance. I'll give this analogy. Food doesn't just have zinc. It has a host of other vitamins and minerals and nutrients, and it comes together, layered with multiple things. The same way our body doesn't just, our liver doesn't just act as a liver. It has a heart, it has lungs, it has a spleen, it has a thymus, it has a brain, it has a gut. It all works together. So the problem is that, and this is of course coming to the adaptogens, is 90% of our adrenals, which is our second brain, which distributes hormones and is our in-house pharmacy and thyroid, it needs to be inactive or affected 90% before a diagnosis is made, and that's really bad. You're in a crappy state at that point. You're exhausted, you're drained, you're brain fogged, you're all this and that. And we how can we operate like that? Like, I couldn't do it. Like, for one whole year, I was just like, man, I am out, I am drained, I am tired. And it's almost like, it's just weird, because then suicide, which is such a big thing, like, or not even that, it's just like the wanting to do the things that you want to do. It's like these abnormal things in your life, they overtake what you would normally want to do, and you're just sitting there, you're just feeling like a clump of dump. So that's why I'm making this video, adaptogens, because this can help us in our progress to achieving that optimal health. It helps us on that path. It helps our body, helps to move our body in the right ways. So let's get to it. Adaptogens. So before I get right to the adaptogens, mitochondria, that's like our power plant, in our cells. These adaptogens, they help our mitochondria. They help to fuel the adrenals to then support the hormones. Heck, even cholesterol, which a lot of people, well, nowadays it seems that the studies are starting to, hey, maybe saturated fat or maybe cholesterol is not really the problem, but cholesterol is responsible for making and producing our hormones. And people are starting to, hey, okay, maybe we had it wrong. So adaptogens, they're researched over 5,000 studies. Their research finds that it reduces stress, it boosts overall health, and it alleviates symptoms. And this is good, because this helps us on our journey to optimal health. So let's get to it. I have here 10 adaptogens that I'm going to go through, and I just want you to listen to each, and then see, okay, will this one help me? And of course, you guys, I encourage you guys to do your own research. That's the best way, because when you begin to be invested in your health, when your body feels a certain way. No doctor, no other person can tell you. Maybe some labs, blood work, urine tests, stool tests, they can show you comprehensive data, especially when you get these special labs done, the more comprehensive ones. But besides those snapshots of what's going on within your body, you can feel what's going on, or you can be like, something's off, and it helps propel you to want to pursue this, so that you don't feel bad, you don't feel like trash every time you wake up. So here we go. First is maca. Maca, it's great for hormone balance. It supports the immune system. It improves fertility. It boosts the mood and energy, stamina, sex, memory, and focus. That's maca right there. Number 2 is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha supports immune health, thyroid, the adrenals, reduces anxiety, depression. It increases stamina and stabilizes blood sugar. Ashwagandha is very big in the Ayurvedic medicine. Then we have reishi mushroom. Very, very high antioxidant mushroom. It can resist cancer, help with autoimmune diseases or issues, heart diseases, allergies, infections, viruses. It lowers toxins and heavy metals within our bodies. It lowers inflammation and chronic pain. Number four, cordyceps fights free radicals, infections, inflammation, respiratory disorders, liver damage, and prevents growth of tumors. Number five, astragalus. This one's a very powerful one, mainly used in traditional Chinese medicine. It's from the bean legume family. It boosts immune system or the immune health, protects heart problems, um, powerful anti-inflammatory, helps against mental and physical stressors. It can slow down and affect tumor growth. Uh, Very high in antioxidant and good for anti-aging. Now, number six here, licorice root. It increases energy and endurance, boosts immune, and protects the thymus from being damaged by the cortisol. And the thymus is part of our immune system. It's responsible for releasing white blood cells as well. It's located like right around this area, thymus. Um, and yes, and I do know that some people have said, oh, well, licorice root increases blood pressure. There are diglycerized versions that take away that compound in there that would boost that. So you can get licorice roots or tablets that deglycerize versions to help with that if that's an issue at the moment for you. Remember, guys, like the whole idea of these adaptogens is to help bring you back to that long term homeostasis. Homeostasis is health. That balance is what keeps you healthy. You know, too much of certain things, whether even if they're supposedly superfoods, in toxic amounts or overload amounts, an imbalance causes problems. So this is why adaptogens are wonderful for for helping us with this balance, this homeostasis. Now, number seven goes by the name of Dong Quai or Dong Quai. I may be saying this wrong, but this is an amazing uh, herb in balancing women's hormones, replenishing blood tonic. It can treat men's prostate health as well, creates energy, fights depression, and it's a great source of vitamins A, E, and B12. Ginseng is the next one here. Mental is great for mental performance, stress, antioxidant, antidepressant effects, lowers blood pressure and blood sugar levels, and it's good for a mood and sex booster. It's really good for that and heightens that experience. Number nine, holy basil, also known as Tulsi. Now the name for it. By this, holy basil, it lowers cortisol levels, it regulates blood sugar and hormones. Very, very good. And then the last one, Rhodiola. Now this one right here is very, very, it's an awesome last herb here that I have as an adaptogen. It alleviates depression, it stimulates the nervous system, it boosts mental alertness, and it eliminates fatigue. So these are the adaptogens that I believe will help lots of people. Now, based on the descriptions that I read to you guys about these, you guys can make the best choice for your current situation. And of course, you can consult your doctor. And you know what I say about doctors. If a doctor is willing to help you and willing to work with you, that's a very, very good and valuable thing to have that. Remember, if a practitioner, if a doctor's not helping you on your journey to health, find a new one. And these adaptogens, again, they help your body in doing its function. Unlike drugs and medications, which override and then make the body lazy over time, we don't want that. We don't want chemicals in our body. We want that which is natural to our bodies, which for thousands of years have been there for us, not these petroleum based medications that were just made less than what, 150 years ago, maybe even less than that. you know Again, I hope you guys enjoy this video and this content, and I hope that this will help you on your journey on achieving optimal health. So thank you for watching. This is Coach Hemi here with Correcting Health, and I'll see you on the next video.